Have you ever wondered who we have to thank for the scientific method, the systematic approach that underpins modern science? Today we're shining a spotlight on Sir Francis Bacon, a pivotal figure in the development of this method. Born in the year 1561, Bacon was the son of a prominent lawyer and a mother who was an accomplished scholar. His early years were marked by a thirst for knowledge, nurtured by his family's privileged position and his exposure to the intellectual circles of Elizabethan England. He received a comprehensive education, studying in prestigious institutions such as Trinity College, Cambridge. Bacon's upbringing and education set the stage for his future contributions, shaping his critical thinking skills and fueling his curiosity about the world around him. His life story is not just a tale of scientific discovery, but also one of political intrigue and philosophical debates. Join us as we delve into the life and contributions of this remarkable man, Sir Francis Bacon. Born in London in 1561, Bacon was the son of Sir Nicholas Bacon, a prominent figure in Elizabethan politics. This early exposure to the world of politics and power undoubtedly had a profound impact on young Francis, shaping his worldview and ambitions. Growing up in a household that valued education and intellectual pursuits, Bacon was introduced to a wide array of subjects at a young age. His thirst for knowledge was insatiable, a trait that would serve him well throughout his life. At just 13 years old, Bacon left home and headed to Cambridge University, a prestigious institution where he would continue his studies. Here, he immersed himself in the world of philosophy and science, subjects that would become central to his later work. He developed a critical eye, questioning accepted truths and seeking to understand the world in a more profound way. But it wasn't all about academia for Bacon. His time at Cambridge also saw the blossoming of his interest in the human condition, in politics, and in the power of persuasion. He was, even then, a deep thinker, a man who sought to understand not just the world around him, but the people who inhabited it. Despite his young age, Bacon was already showing signs of the intellectual prowess that would shape his later contributions. His curiosity, his drive, and his ability to question and analyze would lay the groundwork for the revolutionary ideas he would later bring to the world of science and philosophy. Bacon's career wasn't confined to the realm of science. He was also a prominent figure in the legal and political world of his time. Francis Bacon began his legal career in earnest in the late 16th century, steadily climbing the ranks of the English judiciary. His sharp intellect and keen understanding of law and governance led him to be appointed as the Queen's Counsel, a prestigious position that put him at the forefront of the legal proceedings of the time. But Bacon wasn't content to rest on his legal laurels. He ventured into the political arena, initially serving as a member of Parliament. His political acumen and charismatic personality quickly caught the attention of those in power, and he was soon entrusted with more significant roles. He rose through the ranks, eventually ascending to the position of Lord Chancellor, one of the highest political offices in England. As Lord Chancellor, Bacon wielded considerable influence, shaping policies and legal procedures while also serving as a close advisor to the king. His tenure, however, was not without controversy. Accusations of corruption began to surface, casting a dark shadow over his otherwise illustrious career. Despite his protestations of innocence, the charges against Bacon were serious and numerous. He was accused of accepting bribes, favoring certain individuals in his rulings, and misusing his position for personal gain. In the face of mounting evidence, Bacon was eventually found guilty of these charges. This marked a dramatic fall from grace, ending his political career in disgrace. However, this setback did not deter Bacon from pursuing his true passion, the pursuit of knowledge. He remained undeterred, channeling his energy into his scientific and philosophical studies. These endeavors would prove to be his most enduring legacy, overshadowing the controversies that marred his political career. Bacon's political career was a tumultuous one, but it was his work in science and philosophy that would secure his place in history. Bacon's most lasting impact comes from his contributions to the development of the scientific method. At the heart of Bacon's intellectual revolution was his advocacy for empirical research, a radical departure from the Aristotelian scientific thought that held sway over most of Europe at the time. Aristotle had posited that all truths could be arrived at through logical reasoning and contemplation, yet Bacon argued that true knowledge could only come from careful observation of the natural world, followed by rigorous testing and verification of hypotheses. He championed a method of scientific inquiry that prioritized experimentation over speculation, evidence over conjecture. Bacon's most significant contribution to the scientific method was his formulation of inductive reasoning. This is the process of making general conclusions from specific observations. For instance, if you observe that the sun rises in the east every morning, you might inductively reason that the sun always rises in the east. This was a radical shift from the deductive reasoning favored by Aristotle, which began with general principles and deduced specific facts from them. Bacon also emphasized the importance of experimentation in scientific inquiry. He believed that scientists should not only observe the world, but actively engage with it. They should design experiments to test their hypotheses and then use the results of these experiments to refine their theories. This emphasis on active, experimental engagement with the natural world was a key element of Bacon's scientific method, but Bacon's contributions to science went beyond his methodological innovations. He also helped to establish science as a distinct field of study, separate from philosophy and theology. He argued that science was not just a means of understanding the world, but a tool for improving it. This practical, pragmatic approach to science was a significant departure from the more theoretical, contemplative approach favored by many of his contemporaries. Bacon's ideas were revolutionary in his time, but they have since become the bedrock of modern scientific thought. His emphasis on empirical research, inductive reasoning, and experimentation is still reflected in the scientific method used by scientists today. His belief in the practical application of scientific knowledge continues to guide scientific research and technological innovation. Bacon's contributions laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution and continue to shape scientific thought to this day. His ideas have not only transformed the way we understand the world, but have also dramatically improved our ability to shape it. Bacon's later years were marked by a continued dedication to science and philosophy, despite his political downfall. As Bacon moved into the twilight of his life, his attention shifted increasingly towards his scientific and philosophical work. His later years saw the publication of many of his most significant works. The Novum Organum, a philosophical work that proposed a new method of reasoning, was published in 1620. This was followed by The Advancement of Learning and The New Atlantis, a utopian novel that envisioned a society driven by scientific discovery. Unfortunately, Bacon's health began to deteriorate, and he passed away on the 9th of April, 1626. The circumstances of his death are somewhat ironic, given his commitment to experimental science. It's said that he caught pneumonia while experimenting with the effects of freezing on the preservation of meat, an experiment that, in a tragic twist of fate, would cost him his life. Bacon's death did not mark the end of his influence. Quite the contrary. His posthumous reputation continued to grow, echoing through the corridors of science and philosophy. His inductive method of reasoning, which emphasized the importance of observation and experimentation, laid the groundwork for the scientific method we use today. His legacy is not without controversy, however. Some critics argue that Bacon's approach to science was too empirical, too focused on data, and not enough on theory. Yet, it's hard to deny the profound impact he had on the way we approach scientific inquiry. His vision of a society guided by science and reason continues to inspire us more than 3 centuries after his death. Bacon's life was not without its share of difficulties and controversies, yet through it all, he remained steadfast in his commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. He was a man of great intellectual curiosity, who dared to question established beliefs and seek new ways of understanding the world. Sir Francis Bacon's life was a testament to the power of intellectual curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. From his early years to his later life, Bacon's dedication to scientific inquiry has left an indelible mark on the world of science. His relentless pursuit of knowledge and truth, his commitment to empirical evidence and systematic observation, these formed the bedrock of what we now call the scientific method. This was a man who dared to challenge the status quo, who questioned accepted beliefs and sought to replace them with evidence-based theories. His philosophy of knowledge is power continues to resonate, driving scientific advancements and technological innovations even today. We've walked through his life, from his humble beginnings to his rise in the political arena, his contributions to science and his enduring legacy. What emerges is a portrait of a truly remarkable individual, a beacon of intellectual curiosity and scientific rigor. In the end, Sir Francis Bacon was more than just a man of his time. He was a visionary who helped shape the way we understand the world today. If you've enjoyed this journey through the life and legacy of Sir Francis Bacon, we've got plenty more fascinating stories to share. Thoughts of Better Men is dedicated to exploring the lives and minds of history's greatest thinkers, innovators, and visionaries. If you're intrigued by the power of ideas and the people behind them, then this is the place for you. By subscribing, you're not just joining a community, you're embarking on a voyage of discovery, exploring the power of thought and the impact it has on our world. In our upcoming videos, we'll delve into the lives of other noteworthy individuals, from philosophers and scientists to artists and leaders, both from history and the present day. So, if you want to keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey. Don't miss out on the chance to delve into the minds of the greatest thinkers. Subscribe now and stay tuned for more.